And welcome to Hero Power. This is episode 60. And we are super stoked to have our special guests, the crew from 1600 Dust. What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Good. Good.
Hey.
All right. As always, if you are tuning in for the first time, I am your host, Avantes. And as always, I am joined by my co-hosts, Zaroshio.
What is up, gang?
And Versika.
How's it going, gang?
And this week, we are super excited. We've got Spivey, Chris, and Patches.
He's in charge now.
That is
when
right.
did this happen?
Yeah. All right. So we've got some awesome content for you guys tonight. Normally, if you've never watched our show, we normally go through the news. We talk about what's going on in the community. We talk about a deck you may see in the meta, and then we play it for you in the second half of our show. Well, this week we're going to do things a little different. We're going to do things a little bit 1600 Dust style. So we're going to go through the first half of the show in about 20 minutes or so, and then we're going to switch over to do the second half of the show, and we're going to play not one deck, but two decks for you guys today.
Merry Christmas.
Right. That's right. So before we get into...
has given us permission to play aggro decks.
That's right.
Merry Christmas.
We very rarely ever play aggro decks on this show. But before we get started, Versika, tell us a little bit about our sponsors at Viforce.
Well, so as you guys know, if you've listened to the show recently, I have ordered a Viforce machine. I actually got my Viforce machine. I had hoped to be on my Viforce machine tonight while we were doing the show. But while the Viforce machine itself is awesome, the wireless card that I had with my old computer would not fit the awesomeness of my Viforce machine. So therefore, right now, it is just an awesome Viforce machine. And if you follow me on Twitter, you got to see photos of it. So I'm very excited to get to use it. But it actually brings me up to a good point. So you cannot give the people at Viforce too much information when you are going through ordering your machine. So when they ask you questions like, what do you want your machine to do? If you are on a wireless internet, it's very important that you actually tell them you're on a wireless internet connection while you order your machine. That's super helpful because those guys are great, but they're not mind readers. So that being said, I plugged the machine up. I ran through all my specs. Super excited to get to play it. I know the guys that I play Overwatch and WoW with are going to be super excited that I can actually see things now that they've been telling me have been happening for a while.
Maybe you won't.
They don't have to remind me to. Yeah, they don't have to remind me to get out of the fire and all that good stuff. But no, super excited about it. And I tell you, aside from the little mix-up with the wireless adapter, which was all my fault, this whole process from beginning to end has been a very good experience. And I've bought my fair share of computers over the course of my nerd career. And I can honestly say I've never bought one with this small amount of headache. So ViforceGaming.com, or you can go to HeroPowerHS.com, click on the Viforce link on the side, go to the products page, see what they have to offer. It is Christmas time, guys. Treat yourself. You got tax time coming up. Plenty of options, plenty of price ranges. Tell them what you want your computer to do, and they will set you up with what you want.
All right. That's awesome. And I want to throw a big shout out to our new followers and who are spreading some of that 1600 Dust love. So thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Nice.
All right. So let's just hop right into it. Let's talk about you guys for a change. You guys are always on your show talking about the Hearthstone community and everything. Let's talk about what drove you guys to want to do a Hearthstone podcast. So, which one of you wants to start?
Spivey.
I was gonna say I'm fine with letting Chris take the lead since he hasn't been on before, but I can tell the story. I mean, I know the story about what happened, obviously. So
I would hope so.
So I just want to clarify here because I'm getting a little chop on the audio. So you want to know what made us start a Hearthstone podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. So I come from a community of Magic nerds that are not so nerdy as far as like the stereotype goes. Where a lot of us are extroverted and whatnot, and that's the heavy meta SVU, which is where I know Loader from and some others. And I was kind of in that community. I've still, anybody who's a part of that is always going to be a part of that. But what wound up happening is Chris and I found each other through this as well. And Chris has a history of doing podcasts. He did Playing for Cheaps. How high did you guys go before you nuked it?
100 and change, I believe.
I was going to say, was it on the other half of 150? Did you get close to 2?
No,
it was up there, right?
Yeah,
okay,
I mean,
so like 150.
We're getting close to like where we're gonna have to cancel this show too, because we're gonna break my limit on how many.
No. This one lasts longer. It's only a third or a sixth of the length of your other show.
It's very true.
So Chris and Matt had Playing for Cheaps, and it was a show that just kind of centered around gaming in general, with a primary focus on PC gaming, console gaming, and doing it on a budget. Both of them are dads, and they just want to get the most bang for their buck. So we kind of connected up on Twitter, and Chris was like, "Hey, why don't you come on the show and guest?" And I think I did that at least twice, if not 3 times. And every time we got on, it was a blast.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris just approached me one day, and he was like, I think I was talking about Hearthstone, and he was talking about Hearthstone or something, and he was just like, "Hey, how would you feel about doing a Hearthstone podcast?" And I was like, "Well, I really like attention, so let's do it." And he was like, "Okay, I got an idea. It's gonna be a 20-minute show." And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, let's do it. Why not? Fast game, fast show. Let's see how this goes." And we have been doing it now for 2 years. We're actually 1.5 weeks away from episode 100, which will be dropping about New Year's.
Congratulations. Awesome. That is awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We've been working on it for weeks. It's going to be great.
Awesome. That's great. I can't wait to hear it. All right, so let's talk about your Hearthstone background a little bit. So, which of you... Now, this is a question we usually dodge on our show.
Have we actually even answered it yet?
No, and don't
Okay.
you hush. But the question is, if it came down to it, which one of you could beat the other one?
Oh, Spivey would
Chris?
win easily. Spivey would win easily.
We've jammed games before. We practiced against one another because we participate in Team Hearth League, and we've just taken Conquest and taken our best of 3, our 4 decks, banning one, and jammed games. And Chris is always improving, but it's a cold day in hell when he beats me.
That's good. That's good.
We don't ever answer that question. There is only one constant, though, is that I am always going to be better than Avantis. That's the only thing that matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, for the record, the only reason that we have an idea of that is because there's a tier system there's a seeding system in Team Hearth League. So my consistent ranking that I'm always getting is rank 3,
Mm-hmm.
and Chris is a little bit higher than that. So I'm the 3 seed and he's the 4 seed. But he's no slouch. Don't get me wrong. Like, he beats me. But I think if you were to flip a coin, it probably lands in my favor.
Gotcha. Okay. So let's talk about the show a little bit. You mentioned that you had this idea for a 20-minute show. Give us for our listeners who may not have heard your show before, give us a breakdown of what they would get if they sat down and listened to an episode of 1600 Dust. How does the show flow?
So the 20 minutes, it was kind of, the big reason for it when we started it was there wasn't a whole lot of Hearthstone out there yet. The game was still relatively new. And more to the point, I'd come from doing previous podcasts where it's like, well, we got to get an hour, we got to get an hour and a half, or some sort of hard length like that. And not that there's anything inherently wrong with that. But what ends up happening is you start inadvertently padding the show. And so what we did is Spivey and I are both pretty fast talkers, high energy. And so it was like, we'll do 20 minutes. We'll just cut through the BS. It'll be, this is where we're at. This is what we're doing. If there's an interesting deck or there's interesting stuff that comes out of the metagame or anything that shifts, we really cover that. Neither one of us has been legend yet. And it's kind of really important to us that, for me, it's more of a quality versus quantity time. For Spivey, it's a pursuit of his to get there, and he will get there. I've got no doubt of it. But so it's like, what about your average player? And we're just two average dudes, like Spivey said. We tend to fall more on the not so locked in the basement nerd side of things.
Mm-hmm.
More and so it's let's make it about community. Let's have fun. Let's interact. Let's let people know that we're just like anyone else. We play this to have fun. We have a lot of fun doing it. We have a lot of fun talking smack to one another, and breaking the band up over Twitter multiple times. But it's really just about it's like for the people, by the people kind of mentality, I think is what it really comes down to. And it's really just kind of something that has resonated with a lot of people, as far as I can listen to this when I go for my morning jog. I can listen to this on the commute to work. I can take this in one sitting. And it honestly keeps Spivey and I honest as far as making sure we've got important stuff to talk about, because we have a very limited amount of time to talk about it in. Okay.
Awesome. Well, now, I know I've listened to a few episodes, and it's just kind of perfect for that drive to work in the morning. Mm-hmm. It nails that. And I think we talked about that with Spivey last time he was on the show. So, Zeroshio, did you have any questions?
Yeah, you all do a segment called Know Your Role?
Mm-hmm. That's the one.
I love that segment. I think it's very informative, and you package it, and you do your best to package it in that 20-minute timeline. I think sometimes it's like 26 minutes because there's a lot of information. Can you kind of
where we push it?
Let our listeners know a little bit that haven't listened to 1600 Dust about your Know Your Role segments and how often you guys do them?
Sure. One of the things that it came up when I started doing a Magic the Gathering podcast. It came up when I started doing a video game podcast, and especially with Hearthstone, when you start it from the beginning, your listeners are just beginning to play Hearthstone along with you. And one of the things that we've always been conscious of is, even as our listeners improve, as we improve, there's always going to be new people who are picking the game up. And so Know Your Role kind of comes back to a really classic article from Magic the Gathering. I think it was Mike Flores, who it was basically. Is that right?
Who was the beatdown? Yep. Yeah, Mike Flores, who was the beatdown.
Who's the beatdown? Where it's a concept where anytime two opponents face off in a card game like this, kind of regardless of whether you're an aggro player or you're a control player, and regardless of whether your opponent's an aggro player or a control player, one of you is going to assume the role of the beatdown or the control player. And it's kind of on you, if you want to persevere and you want to be the better player, it's on you to figure out which one that is. So you could show up with a deck that's super control-y, and your opponent could show up with a deck that's very much aggressive. But if the mulligans don't work right, if the card draws are in your favor, those roles could swap. And so it's learning how to understand which role you fit into, and that's where we came up with the name Know Your Role, and then we expanded it from there to think. Go ahead.
A super important part about this is like a misassignment of role equals a game loss. So I mean, if you have two burn decks that are card for card the same, one of those decks is going to try to survive and outlast the cards that your opponent's using, and that's just kind of the basis for it. Chris is exactly right.
And one of the other things that really kind of branched off from there is like take Magic the Gathering, for example, where we both came from. You know, you don't really know what your opponent is playing until they start laying down lands. Okay, I see he's laying down red, so he's probably going to be a burn deck or something like that. But we have a unique advantage in Hearthstone where we have the hero classes. So before any card is played whatsoever, I know my opponent's playing Warlock. So what that means in my head is if I've got an Aggro Shaman deck and I see my opponent as a Warlock, if I was thinking about today's meta, okay, is he playing Disco Lock? Maybe he might be. Is he playing Reno Lock? That's more likely. Okay, so if I'm putting him on Reno Lock, that affects how I mulligan. That affects what I'm looking for. And that right away kind of puts me into that role one way or the other. I'm either going to be the aggressor or I'm going to be the person who holds back and tries to outlast. And from there, we talk about, you know, he lays down this card. Okay, this card lets me know that it's more likely he's a Cthulhu warrior and he's not a dragon warrior. So it's kind of trying to take the information that you're given and use it to disseminate it and properly fit into how you're going to beat your opponent in 20 minutes.
We like to discuss a lot of the different archetypes that exist at the time, and typically I would be scrambling to organize Know Your Role now, because let me tell you, it is a ton of work to line up 9 guests and get them scheduled and get those recorded and everything else. However, with the way Blizzard is restructuring Standard and the year system with the rotation, we both discussed it, and this is the first time it's really been disclosed, I think. We've kind of hinted at it on our show, but we won't be doing Know Your Role this year. We do it about once a year so far. People want it more often, but like I said, it's just really time consuming. We will be doing it about a month after rotation happens, because we want the fresh format, and we don't feel like a new set of Know Your Role is warranted with Jugger and an expansion released, because it doesn't shake things up enough.
Now, you mentioned that getting 9 guests to talk, and just to fill in some of the listeners that haven't listened to 1600 Dust, is that because you have a guest on that specializes in each class?
Exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
We like to go for the specialists. We've got our eyes on a couple high visibility players this year, and we're going to be approaching them to be on the show. It's going to be people you guys know. It's going to be people that are on Twitch regularly, and in the past it's been people that they know their stuff, but we want higher profile players because they play at such a high level compared to the rest of our community potentially.
And I just want to point out that article you're talking about by David Flores. I read that article probably 15 years ago when it first came out. 10 years ago, I forget how long ago it was written, but that article is amazing. And it doesn't just...
Michael Flores, who is the beatdown.
Like you said, it doesn't just concern Magic. It covers all CCGs in general. And if you've not read it, I highly recommend Googling it and taking the time to read through that article, because it is an amazing, amazing piece of work.
It will change the way you play any card game to be... And you know, to answer to that, you know, it's important to us because it's 20 minutes. We want to get as much quality in there as we can, and that also gets to why we have guests for the Know Your Role series. Because if it was like, okay, Chris, I want you to talk about, you know, Rogue this week, it'd be like, well, it's going to be a bad show because I'm not a Rogue player. So let's find someone who's really
uses
good
a lot
at
of coins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lose with it a lot, so I'm usually the beatdown.
All right.
And I'll just speaking as a listener of 1600 Dust, not just for the regular episodes, but especially the Know Your Role episodes. If you're going to listen to them, don't just listen to it in the background while it's playing. Pay attention, because they go through. There's no fluff in their episodes. They go right to the point. They let you know what they're going to talk about that week. And it's very informative and interesting for the full 20 plus minutes. Usually we're between 20 and 25 minutes. And I think it's one of my favorite podcasts to listen to. That's not Hero Power, of course, out there. So I love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Yeah. All right. So we got about 10 minutes left. Versika, you got any questions for these guys?
No, I've been a long time listener, actually. My commute is between 30 and 45 minutes. So
We're so sorry.
10 minutes. Those 10 minutes.
Yeah, so I've been listening for a while. I love it. I think you guys are great. I don't follow Matt. I need to get his Twitter handle, but I follow Spivey and Chris on Twitter, and I love it. You guys make me smile daily.
Good.
So I appreciate it. I appreciate all you do for the Hearthstone community. Actually, so that does bring me to a point. When we had Spivey on the show last time, we were supposed to introduce him as the man that asked us to show you our chest every month.
That's right.
So we're getting close to the end of the month.
Right.
It is.
So,
We're 10 days away from showing Spivey our chest.
so tell me,
Oh,
this seems to be growing each and every month.
Your chest is growing.
Implants.
That's right.
So how many, on average, how many people do you have showing you their chest each month?
okay. So for those of you that don't
and also,
know,
explain "Show me your chest" for those that don't know.
Oh, come on. The whole
so
point of that was
for
that
those of you that
everybody would get.
know, I had a random whim to create the "Show Me Your Chest" hashtag because one of my favorite things is when people open their booster packs or whatnot. Like, I really wish Blizzard would include a spectate mode for booster packs or deck creation, but that's another topic. Well, Blizzard introduced this monthly chest that you get at the end of the month as a reward for reaching your highest rank that month. And I was just like, I thought I was cheeky and funny, and I was like, oh, show me your chest. I can tell you, since its inception, which I want to say, I should go back and look. It's been going on for a while. On the first of the month, like the end of the 31st or 30th, into the last day of the month, and into the first day of the month, I think I'm on Twitter constantly. I don't think 15 minutes goes by without me getting a picture of someone else's chest, which I'm very excited by at all times. And and to tell you the truth, because it's tongue in cheek, no, I have never been sent a picture of anything other than a dude's chest.
The amount of dude nipples that he's seen has increased exponentially since he started the hashtag.
I take one for the team. I take two for the team.
Yeah.
Take 2 for the team. That's good.
But my favorite thing is just checking out what rewards they got, and I kind of get envious of some of the rewards that someone else opened that I didn't, and I like to share it with the rest of my followers. And I'm sure it's caused a lot of people to mute my retweets because, it's like, oh, this guy on the first of the month. But
Yep.
anything I put in Twitter, I'm completely genuine. I'm not just blowing smoke or anything else. If you open something really cool, like something I've been wanting for a long time, like a golden or something, like, I'm excited about that. And I'm going to let you know that.
Awesome.
And I'll tell you now, definitely follow at Spiver on Twitter because he is unfiltered and he is about as real as it gets. If you really want to see it, go back and check out his BlizzCon tweets, and that's all I'll say about that.
I loved Blizz. You guys,
Shower beers.
Shower beers. Yeah.
It was so good. So good.
Hashtag shower beer.
That's right.
It's
That
funny
was
how
Chris's idea, by the way, and I love it.
it's funny.
Idea. He's like, we're going to do this in Anaheim, right? I'm like, yes.
Yes, we are. Well, it's funny. The things that we do that seem the most impulsive, or I hope this isn't too inside baseball. The things that we do that seem the most impulsive are actually usually the most well thought out things that we do.
Please tell me that Shower Beers was scripted and thought out.
Shower Beers was
makes it even
scripted
better.
out about 4 months before BlizzCon.
Oh my goodness, that is great.
Now the addition of Dan and Bill
Yep.
into further pictures of Shower Beers, that was it's like you guys are just going to stand there and look at us and you're not going to get in here.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, we
hilarious.
looked at Zuriel on Twitter. We looked at Bill, and we're just like, dude, it's me and Chris and Skinny Dan. Like, we're not gonna ask Ziggy Sarah to come in the shower right now, but why don't you get your body in here? And he's looking at us, and he's just like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. And we're like, you're gonna do it. And he's like, ugh.
I'm going to do it.
Skippies. He's like, he jumps in. I'm like, all right. It was a tender moment.
Nice. There might have
That's
to be a Hero Power shower beer in the near future.
Atta boys.
It's
All
hot shower and
right.
a cold beer. Nothing better.
There you go. All right.
We'll do shower beers once you have a beard.
Yeah. So once again, Avantis, you are the only one rocking the clean shave.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Well, it's all right. It's all right. Once we hit our next
No.
patron goal, I will grow a beard.
Yep.
We just have to get there
You have
first.
to.
So, all right. Real quick, talk about this week's Tavern Brawl before we talk about the decks. This week's Tavern Brawl is a repeat. It is the Gadget Zan Dealer or whatever it's called. It's you're guaranteed a 1-drop on turn 1, a 2-drop on turn 2, 3-drop on turn 3. So you're always drawing on curve. You do have to construct the deck. Nothing
One
new.
interesting about it is that it is standard. I think last time we had this was before the standard.
Yeah, this is
I'm not
standard
mistaken.
only format.
So it is, unlike other Tavern Brawls, it is only standard. It doesn't. You will not get wild cards in this.
Yeah. All right, so like I said, we've got 2 decks for you guys tonight, courtesy of the gentleman from 1600 Dust. So the first deck we are going to talk about is Shamalama Ding Dong. By the way, love
Tiki
the
Torch
name.
ever.
Yeah, best name ever. So, all right, I'm going to run down this deck list real quick, and then I'm going to let you guys kind of talk, whichever one of you wants to, kind of talk through the deck real quick. So, the deck has 2 Lightning Bolts, Patches, Sir Finley, 2 Small-Time Buccaneers, 2 South Sea Deckhands, 2 Spirit Claws, 2 Tunnel Trogs, Blood Mage Thalnos, 2 Flame Tongue Totems, 2 Jade Claws, 2 Maelstrom Portals, 2 Totem Golems, 2 Feral Spirits, 2 Lava Bursts, 1 Flame Wreathed Faceless, 2 Jade Lightnings, Leroy Jenkins, and Aya Blackpaw. So, whose brainchild is this?
That's actually Chris's.
Wow.
This list came from. This list started out as a Tyler OOTD list.
Mhm.
And do you want to tell the story, Chris, or do you want me to?
Sure, I'll tell it. I think you told it on our show, so I'll tell it on this show.
All right.
So we had this Aggro Shaman list, which is basically, it's pirates, it's weapons, it's some of the good stuff that Shaman can do, and the conversation kind of came up as it tends to do about ways to make it more budget or ways to make it work with legendaries people do or don't have, or things that you could kind of do differently. And the original list had 2 copies of Flame Wreath Faceless in it. I didn't like it. Someone had initially said, what if I substituted out Aya Blackpaw and put Leroy Jenkins in? And I said, why not take out one of the Flame Wreath Faceless, and then you can run Leroy and Aya, and kind of thought that would be a good thing to do with that. Spivey said he didn't feel like it was a good idea. I said, I don't care what you think. I'm doing it anyway.
I'm going to do this thing.
And it has really kind of propelled, it gave it that extra bit of aggression that it really kind of, in a deck that's already pretty hyper aggressive. And yeah, it just kind of grew from there. And it seems like the metagame has kind of shifted to where you can almost expect a Leroy in there now in the place of one of the Flame Wreath. So
Right. It
Okay.
started out, the way the deck was kind of being formed was it had double Flame Wreath Faceless, which I felt was very, very strong in the Druid matchup. And the discussion was kind of over Leroy for the aggression or Aya for the board control. And I didn't like swapping out Aya, and I didn't like cutting the Flame Wreath because of the Druids. It turns out that Druid's not a real deck in Hearthstone, so we can cut all the Flame Wreath Facelesses and run Leroy and Aya.
Let's be honest. You couldn't cut Aya because Ziggy Sarah would have smothered you in your sleep, right?
That's true. That's like her favorite card.
She
I stay out
grabbed
of
a
it.
golden one today, I think. Or was that yesterday?
She it used to be a Sarah, but now it's Aya.
That's right.
All right. So the
Black
other
ball.
deck that we are going to talk about today is Centilal's Pirate Warrior deck. So again,
Yar.
I'll run down this deck list. It's pretty standard what you're seeing in the meta, which when I say I mean what everyone is seeing in the meta right now.
Right.
It is 2 N'Zoth's First Mate, Patches, Sir Finley, 2 Small Time Buccaneer, 2 South Sea Deckhand. Gee, that all sounded familiar. 2 Upgrade, 1 Acidic Swamp Ooze, 2 Blood Cell Raider, 2 Fiery War Axe, 2 Heroic Strike, 2 Blood Cell Cultist, 2 Frothing Berserkers, 2 Dread Corsairs, 2 Kor'kron Elite, 2 Mortal Strike, 2 Arcanite Reaper, and Leroy. So, who's been running this deck?
That would be Spivey.
I started out playing a ton of Pirate Warrior, and I luckily opened Patches, and I luckily opened what's his nuts that doesn't get to play anymore, Hobart or whatever it is.
Yeah, Hobart Grapple Hammer.
But yeah, that's the guy. So I played a ton of this early ranks to get me down to rank 14, 13, something like that. To be honest, all of my play, I'm currently sitting at rank 3. All of my play from rank 9 to rank 3 has been Aggro Shaman, the Aggro Shaman list that you guys listed. I highly recommend that list. Pirate Warrior is very good. It's pretty budget friendly, and it's the most aggressive deck in the format.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't survive to turn 6 against Pirate Warrior, you shouldn't be playing that deck. You shouldn't be playing whatever deck you're brewing or piloting or anything else.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is a pretty basic deck. Everybody's pretty much seen it. Now I want to go a little bit against the grain because this past weekend, and this is going to be the last thing we touch on before we move into the play portion. This past weekend was Seat Story Cup 6, and there was a lot of Pirate Warrior there, and what we saw was a lot of people teching against the aggro, and I want to let Versika kind of touch on this a little bit, because we, after having watched that event, kind of believe there may be a shift in the meta in the next few weeks after people have gotten to see how Seat Story Cup unfolded. So Versika, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, did you guys watch any of Seat Story Cup?
I didn't have an opportunity to.
I'm aware that there was one aggro deck that made it to top 4, top 8, and other than that, I mean, I could tell you what the best decks are, and I'm fairly certain they were confirmed with Seat Story, and aggro pirate aggro is not one of them in that instance.
Yeah,
I do know that Eloise was able to reverse sweep life coach using Pirate Warrior, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
Yeah, so Pirate Warrior actually was played a lot in the opening rounds, and it actually had a pretty good win percentage, but when you got down to it, it ended up being either banned or just getting outvalued by decks like Reno Lock. And even though Reno is going out of the meta with the shift, a lot of the control that keeps Pirate Warrior at bay in Reno Lock is getting to stay. So I think with the exit of Reno, it's going to force those singleton decks to move into a sort of a different way of handling the board, since you don't have the life totals to play with. But I think that early control is still going to be good enough that Pirate Warrior, because of the 1 and 2 health minions, because of its reliance on 1 and 2 health minions, I think that it handles it well. I think Shaman handles the early aggro well. I think Rogue is showing that they can handle the early aggro of Pirate Warrior well. And like you said, the Aggro Shaman list is so good, and it's a little more resilient against that early board control. So I think that when people are going to be looking for aggro list, I think that they're going to choose the Aggro Shaman just because it survives that early game blitz. I think you're going to start seeing, like right now, a lot of people are running one of Acidic Swamp Oozes. Once the set rotates out and they're looking for those early game value cards, the 3/2 power and toughness of the Acidic Swamp Ooze trades well early, and you get rid of those upgraded weapons early, which Pirate Warrior really relies on, and the Aggro Shaman doesn't rely on as much.
Well, so we can't talk about rotation too much, right? Because the last communication Blizzard's given, even though it's been a while, is it's going to happen with a new set. So it's not going to happen until March or April.
Right.
And we don't know necessarily what's going to be coming into that. So it's just if it was happening on like I wanted it to, I think that would be a completely viable conversation. But I think just kind of spitballing on that, I don't know. Like I know that Aggro Pirate Warrior I think it loses one card, right now.
Mm-hmm.
That deck's going to be around for a while.
The other thing that Aggro Shaman does better that the Pirate Warrior doesn't, at least in its current incarnation, is the ability to recover from board wipes. With Pirate Warrior, in my experience playing it, if you get board wiped at an inopportune time, you're pretty much toast. Aggro Shaman's got a lot of ways to kind of build itself back up, both when I'm playing with it and when I'm playing against it. It's like, we just did this. You have 2 more wolves with taunt, you have another totem, and you have another little dude sitting out there. Again, I just cleared your board. And that keeps that pressure consistent in a way that Pirate Warriors sometimes can't maintain.
Yep. It has this perfect mix of burn and zoo and aggro, and it just, as long as you're holding cards for board wipes, it's unstoppable.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, you can Lightning Storm early, Maelstrom Portal early, and I mean, you can be really aggressive with those against the Pirate Warrior deck, which gives you that advantage in that aggro matchup. And that's why I think that you're going to start to see less of the Pirate Warrior, and you're already seeing more of the Aggro Shaman. But I think that the Pirate Warrior's lack of ability to pull minions back on the board, but more than anything, that lack of toughness early is going to keep it from really being the aggro deck of choice. Because I mean, as the meta starts to settle, you're going to have one main aggro deck, 2 or 3 maybe mid-range decks, and then you're going to have 2 or 3 control decks that are really going to settle in as these are the decks that people are going to rank with. And I just, I think that Aggro Shaman just it's once again budget friendly. So I just don't see any reason why Pirate Warrior is going to be able to beat it out.
Yeah, and I'm running a more of a control type shaman, and what's really helping me right now is they assume that I'm Aggro Shaman until they start seeing the heals and the board wipes, and by that point they've overloaded the board so much trying to erase me. And again, that plays a lot to know your role, know when you're the beatdown, know when you're the control player. And they realized too late that I just cleared the board. And Elemental Destruction I use a lot. I do a 1 of my deck, but I'll use it early because they have pretty much dumped their entire hand. They have 1 card in their hand, and I can afford to have 1 dead turn because I pretty much just killed them. And so I don't mind Elemental Destruction on turn 5 and then toteming and not having a turn 6 because they can't do anything but maybe put out a weapon or 1 minion.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's
a really good point.
Let's go see these decks in action now. I'm pretty excited to see how both of these play. We're going to play a couple of games with each deck because I figure the games will go pretty quickly. So that's the hope here anyway. So, all right, if you are joining us, I tell you what, before we do this, why don't you guys tell our audio listeners where they can find you?
Okay, you can go to 1600dust.com, 1600dust.com. And then the other primary way that we use to communicate with people is via Twitter. We have a official at 1600dust, and then I'm on Twitter at cmplummer, Plummer.
Okay.
And you can find me on Twitter at Spyver, Spyvrr.
Okay. Awesome. And unfortunately, it sounds like Matt's not going to be able to join us tonight. So you guys want to pitch him?
Sure. He's at Matuna, Matuna.
Okay. Awesome. So if you guys are joining us on Twitch or YouTube, please stay tuned for the live play portion of our show. If you are listening to us via our audio podcast, we'd like to thank you for joining us at this time and remind you can follow us on Twitter at HeroPower_cast. Find all of our past episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/ECMMOgamers or on our website at HeroPowerHS.com. If you enjoy the show, you can help to support and improve by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/HeroPower. And as always, we'll see you again next week.
And don't forget to use your hero power and dust your golden legendaries.
Oh.
Alrighty. So before we while we're getting everything set up, Versika, go ahead and tell us a little more about Viforce.
All right, so Christmas is Sunday, and yeah, it's that time. So you know what time I'm talking about, right? Christmas money. Yeah, we all get it. Everybody's got that grandmother, that mom out there that doesn't really know what to get you, so they send you that Visa gift card, or they send you a nice fat check and a Christmas card. Well, now's the time to put that check to use. You can go to ViForceGaming.com. They've got all their systems laid out on their product page. You can go in there, select the system that you need to upgrade your gaming experience. If they don't have anything that you want, you can click on the custom tab, tell them what you want, what your budget consists of, and they will get you a quote and they'll lay everything out for you. You can pick and choose and modify as you need to. And I mean, really, this time of year doesn't get any better, because let's say that you don't get enough Christmas money, you're going right into tax time too. So Christmas money plus tax time equals new computer.
There you go.
That's math. That's math that'll work in any family.
That's right. All right. So who's going to be playing first tonight? Or is one person driving both decks?
I figure I will drive the Shaman if Spivey wants to drive the Pirate Warrior.
Sure.
Okay. Can you shoot me your battle tag in Skype chat? So I will need to spectate you.
All right, let me...
I am not playing Pirate Warrior on rank 3. That's not going to happen.
That's fine. You can play it. You can play it in casual. You can play it in casual.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, I can play it. I'll play it. That's fine. I'll play it. And let me just add this here.
No, dude. I'll do casual. Go ahead and do Aggro Shaman. I don't mind doing casual.
We don't mind casual.
No, we really just want to be able to show our viewers, how the deck works, kind of walk them through the plays, kind of try to teach them how to play the deck a little bit. So casual or ladder does not matter.
Okay, and let me turn on spectate mode. All right, we're good to go there. So,
we've had on a couple legend players, pro players that of course didn't want to, at the end of the season, take their legend rank. So we totally understand.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make a push this holiday weekend, and I hope to bring back some.
I'm
good
trying
news.
to. I'm using that Shaman right now. I'm 11-3 with it, and I'm rank 7 or 8. I'm 8 right now.
I apologize for making you feel that way, Spivey. That wasn't my intention. Gore's like, I'm not doing that. Are you nuts?
All right, so while we're getting into this, I've got to ask about your tag, Chris. Is that a thing you do?
Yes, it is a thing I do.
You and I need to talk.
So interesting side note to that. My band actually just released an album today on iTunes.
Yeah, I got
and all
a
that
freebie.
good stuff. Yeah,
nice.
Got it for free. Everyone ready for me to roll, or?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Are you going first, or am I?
I'm going first.
You're going first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Let's see. I don't think you've accepted my friend request yet.
Oh, I got another one. Man, everyone wants to be my friend now.
Right.
Let me get
He's
this.
a cool kid.
There we go. All right.
There we go.
Awesome.
All right. Starting spectate.
And we're gonna do 2 games of each deck, right?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
just do 2 games with each deck. So it's our Shaman versus a Warlock.
Yep. So my money is on him being probably Reno Warlock at rank 13, which to me, this looks like a pretty bad hand to hold on to.
So what are you looking for normally in your mulligan here?
I want to kick his butt as quick as possible before he can really start to stabilize, or before he can get to a point where he can actually play Reno. I want to get him to where a lot of his value cards he's playing just to keep himself alive. And so my thought for that, and Spivey, feel free to offer your opinion as well, is that I'm going to ditch all 4 of these.
Yeah, you ditch all 4 of those.
Yeah.
There's no real reason to keep any removal or anything in this matchup, assuming that it's not. Assume it's Reno Warlock, and what we're going to be looking for is we want to have that Tunnel Trog, a small time Buccaneer.
Ooh, this changes plans.
1 Feral Spirit, which we do have. So I would want to try. Well, Chris is piloting the deck, but I'll be looking to get that Flame Wraith Faceless down ASAP. And you've got a lot of big dudes and a lot of value on your portals.
Yeah, and unfortunately at this point I'm just going to have to eat the 3.
Is there any logic to coining out Totem Golem, or is it just too slow?
That's going to put me at only 1 mana next turn, and I don't like not having a turn 2 play. If there's a play where if there's a turn where I'm not going to have a play, it's going to be turn 1. Not only because either way is kind of suboptimal for what I'm hoping for, but this way I'm still keeping him guessing a little bit.
Oh, this deck's right out of beta.
Yep. Good lord.
And if we Totem Golem, I mean, so we could. There's a bunch of different plays, but like Chris said about Totem Golem, I prefer Totem Golem on 2 as well, unless I'm playing against Aggro Warrior or the Mirror, because you get to use coin to not stumble on your 2 mana on the 3rd turn.
Yeah.
If you wanted to run out a Feral Spirit or something.
Yeah, which is where I'm going to roll with this, because there's also the chance too that he gets greedy, and if he runs his imp into my golem, there's always a chance I can get some more value out of Maelstrom Portal as well. Man, this is classic Zoo.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Wow, and he ate.
I cannot believe he did that. I cannot believe he did that.
No, I can't either. That's wonderful because we get to play Totem Golem, and then next turn coin out a Flame Wraith.
Yep, exactly.
I like that. Now I notice you're all running 2.
And we're just going to
hold
that Maelstrom Portal for value.
Yep.
You're running 2 flame wreaths in this deck. Is that?
Did it not?
Oh yeah,
save?
what's with this list, Chris?
That's weird.
So what?
No,
Are you missing Aya?
No, that's crazy. I don't have Leroy.
Oh. Running 2 Flame Wreaths instead of Leroy?
Now, here's another interesting thing I could potentially do. He's got 2 cards in his hand. I could coin and Maelstrom Portal twice.
Oh yeah. Oh, do that, baby.
Oh yeah, that clears the board and leaves you.
I like that. Because that gets rid of that Councilman.
Yeah, which is always a big problem. And then I have 2 minions on the board, which are a pretty good chance that they'll always be able to trade with what he's got.
2-1-1.
Yeah, whatever. That is what it is. But then next turn I'm in a position. Okay.
Whoa.
He's going ham. He's going ham.
But see, we have Lava Burst. We could take that.
Now, see what I can also do.
I don't even know. Go ahead, Chris. You're going to say exactly what I'm going to say.
Lava Burst, and then hit with the 2 guys, and then Buccaneer, and then start the Patches train and moving.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's dead other than tapping.
But now he's using a resource that we're helping him get rid of.
Yep.
It was his health. Yep.
And then don't click end turn before you play Patches.
That's right.
Exactly.
I do that so often. And with this deck, it's not uncommon. Oh my goodness. This is an old list. Somebody forgot that Gadget Saying Kiss came out.
Yep, and now we Flame Wreath. He's been away for 3 weeks. You can't really fault him.
What
were you going to say?
I like Feral Spirit and Lightning Bolting the Succubus.
I do too.
Yeah, I would love the Flame Wreath, but I like that.
We'll get there on the Flame Wreath. Because that'll be an overload of 3 on 7, so we can play it next turn.
Yeah. And that's also another thing that kind of prompted me. See, there we go. Another thing that really prompted me to get rid of that second Flame Wreath is that.
Wow.
overload can stack up on you pretty easily.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to back out and fix my deck. I don't know why it reverted back to that. I was playing Leroy.
It's
Yes,
okay.
last
I've done it. I've made whole decks, gotten screenshots for Avantis, and then magically the deck's gone because I forgot to hit save, hit done.
Yeah.
Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, one week I sent a deck list to Versika and I was like, "Is this the deck we're playing this week?" He's like, "Yeah." We get on the show, I'm reading through the deck list, and he's like,
Not even
"That's
close.
totally not even close to the deck we're playing this week."
Bro, that's the wrong hero. What are you talking about?
You didn't send me the list. You said, "Where's the list?" I was just like, "Well, just Google Savita's Reno Mage." And I Googled Savita's Reno Mage. It was right there. It was the first one. And when he Googled it, it was a totally different list.
Because Savitz never changes
Nice.
his deck.
Oh.
Never.
I'm still having great success with Savit's Reno Dragon, and that's the deck I used from probably about rank 14 to rank 9. I don't know where I got this. I don't know where I got this idea that I'm the aggro guy when I'm hanging out with Chris, who started out as a Face Hunter player. I mean, I like everything. I play everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chris and I, the whole team is really opening up on what they play with
Awesome.
the league.
Now, this
Yeah.
isn't the same guy, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
So I'm going to again assume that I'm playing
It's
against
Reno.
a Reno player.
Yes.
So we're definitely going to pitch Leroy. Leroy's like the burn spell to the face to win the game. Farrell's kind of a similar boat. I always kind of waffle on Blood Mage. On the one hand, he's nice to have, but on the other hand, if I'm developing properly my totems, I should eventually get a Wrath of Air totem that'll take care of it.
We're not casting totems in a Reno Warlock matchup. You want as much aggression as possible.
Yep.
Like totems, I would have ditched a Blood Mage.
Yeah,
Blood Mage
if we-
needed to go. You want to look for as many Tunnel Trogs as possible.
If we see Zoo, I'm checking Tempo Storm. They must have just updated their list on what's
what
important.
a draw! Oh man.
Yeah, that's nice. Right into
Jesus,
Totem
baby.
Golem.
Give us a weapon. You want weapons and Tunnel Trogs in this matchup, and a small-time Buccaneer. My perfect hand would probably be Tunnel Trog, Jade Claws, small-time Buccaneer against a Warlock. Draw
Jade
a
Claws
Totem
is
Golem.
so
Oh,
good.
that'd be so good.
Jade Claws is
It's so
too.
good.
Yep.
That's one of my favorite cards.
Okay.
Peddler? Gotta be
Peddler.
Peddler.
I'm thinking. Yep,
Yeah.
called it.
All right.
Good job.
So I'm essentially going to ignore the peddler, and I'm just going to start racking in face damage.
Now, if you draw Jade Claws, does that change things?
Yeah, Jade Claws would have been.
Yeah, Jade Claws, I would have killed the peddler at that point. But at this point, I'm fine with threatening with the Totem Golem, because
Okay.
next turn, I still have a play with Blood Mage if I had to, or I've got I can still hero power, and then I'm just going to go face here.
Okay.
I'd love to see a risky Soulfire on that Totem Golem, risking him discarding something important.
Discard Reno.
And that
Have they
that's
started
a
playing?
thing.
I saw that. What's the guy's name? The demon from Diablo. There's a streamer that shares his name.
Diablo.
Asmoda.
Diablo's the
Asmodeus?
demon from Diablo.
Are you talking about Asmodan?
Yeah,
Is it Asmo
Asmodan.
Cutie?
Thank you. He started running Soulfires, right, in his Reno deck?
Yeah, I believe so.
Because that's the list I have.
Shield Bearer off the Dark
There's
Portal.
so much stuff going on in that deck. I haven't really played it.
Wow, he top decked that Shield Bearer. Wow,
No, he got it off the Dark
that's what
Peddler.
I'm saying. He had a really good choice of that. Actually worked really well against us.
So for the sake of
If
maximizing
You play
my...
Trog. If you play
Sorry.
Trog, he's going to kill your Trog with his 2-1 and his 2-2.
For the sake of maximizing my mana, I'm going to hero power, and I'm just going to run both my dudes into the 0/4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's
I
a
think
good
that's
idea.
good.
So
Hopefully we can get a taunt totem.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Not awful.
Well, the heal totem
It's not
means he's
good
probably
here.
going to run both minions into our golem
Yep.
because he won't want to leave it alive and damaged.
And I think you're pretty much locked into holding Blood Mage at this point for a Spirits or a finish, which is why I like keeping him typically.
Shadow Bolt. Okay.
Wow. Wow.
Top deck of Maelstrom Portal wouldn't
Maelstrom
be bad
Portal.
here. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That would have been great.
Well, honestly, I think the play is Tunnel Trog Hero Power.
What if you
Yeah.
hero power first and then just pass if it's not a taunt? You can't. If you play Tunnel Trog, he's gonna be completely happy.
There we
It,
go.
it
To run
is a
both of
taunt,
those.
so
So we could Tunnel Trog.
Yeah, I think Chris is right. I think you have to.
It feels bad, man, but you're right. I think you have to.
This isn't. We're not. We're not on the right path we want to be, but it's a situation where we got to deal with the hand that we've been given.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's
I'm to the
tapping
point
down
where
with
it's like,
2 mana.
if I was playing this game, I'd look to just be probably conceding soon, just because it's like we just didn't get that aggressive start, unfortunately, like drawing Jade, Lightning, and Lava. But it's gonna be a long game, and I'd rather play 2 games I'm gonna win.
There's a
I'd
Maelstrom.
rather
conceding
play-
this one.
I can Blood Mage. I
And
can
Maelstrom
Maelstrom.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then do that.
I like both of those. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And you can hit
I
the
don't know.
tunnel trog. Like this is the problem. It's like, do you run the tunnel trog into the shield bearer or whatever it's called, like the Sun Fury? I don't think you do, but I think you have to, which is unfortunate. I hate
You
Well, I
have
doing
mean,
it.
to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's gonna kill. He's gonna kill
He'll just
Blood
Mortal
Mage.
Coil.
Yeah.
Mortal Coil, or he'll
Yep.
do a Shadow Flame play with it.
Yeah,
Kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. We do have a bit of burn in our hand, so that we might be able to make a push if we can get some good draws.
Mm-hmm.
It's so awkward if we don't get an aggressive creature, though, because burning an opponent down to 20, it's still as deadly as if he's at 30.
Do we hate Lava Burst into Feral Spirit?
I kind of do. I'd rather just
That'd
try to
be
erase with Feral
overloaded
Spirit. And then,
4. Yeah.
I like
We could
Feral
always-
and Totem.
Feral and Totem.
Yeah, I don't think you worry about that Azure. I think you make him hit it or clear it if he's got the board wipe, but at least this way you get some damage in, and you can always get that direct damage in later. Like, I see the value of hitting the Azure Drake, but I don't necessarily agree with it. Like, best play here is
Yeah.
like Hellfire. I think you just have to,
Yeah.
unfortunately, we have to like just be really aggressive.
Yeah,
The
which
only
is
bad
that's
thing about the Hellfire is it doesn't kill the Azure Drake.
Yep.
Well,
And
it
so
will,
That is
because
just as
Hellfire
bad if
will,
Azure
yeah.
Drake on board.
Yeah.
And so now this is where I would have wanted to have been on like turn 3.
Fellfire
Ooh.
Potion.
Well, I mean, this does damage to his face, too, so this isn't
Yeah.
completely terrible.
Use
What
the
about
Force
Jade
Loop.
Lightning and Sir Fenley to try to get a good hero power?
At
But
this
now
point,
that
I
Blood
think
Mage
it's well.
is gone,
Wait, but
you-
why Jade Lightning?
Yeah, we could use
Creates
the Jade
like-
Lightning to clear something
I
in a
don't,
minute.
I don't like just chucking burn at the face to do nothing.
Yeah.
Well, the step 1's hero power.
Like if we're at 7 and he's at like 9, then cool. But like,
Yeah. I guess
Fenley hero.
that makes sense.
Because now I
There's-
can Finley and hero again.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And hopefully we can get Steady Shot and put him on a clock.
we're yeah, and then we can sneak in Leroy. The life tap's great too.
Yeah, I like Life Tap.
If we can sneak in Leroy before he gets taunt down, we can direct damage. Like, this is what I've been trying to teach people about the deck when they're asking me to teach them about it, is like that direct damage can go to his face at any point in time.
Yep.
True.
Doing so, you kind of just have to play to that. And like you guys were saying, like Hunter hero power would have been excellent. And this is actually kind of putting us back in the game where we might be able to come back from this, even if he Renos, to be honest. Because now look at this, look at what we're developing here with these lava bursts and stuff.
Yeah.
Can we
I
risk
think Flame Tongue is.
the Flame Tongue's the way to go? Okay.
I
didn't know
think,
if
I think we
Leroy
really
Maelstrom
want to do this.
Portal would be good.
15.
Well, we want a life
I
tap.
think you want a Flame Tongue hit with both of your dudes. No. You want a Flame Tongue hit with both of your dudes, and then play Leroy and get the Flame Tongue activation again and hit him again. and you just need to go. You need to go completely ham. Like
Okay.
you need to force
Yeah.
them to have the Reno here, or you're just going to lose this game.
I get what you're saying.
Yep. And this puts us on a lethal next turn.
And if you had played it on the other side, it would have made your taunt a 0/2, which is irrelevant with the Leroy tokens, but that's just something to think about. It would have turned off the extra damage in case he wanted to use the Sylvanas here. He has to Reno this turn now. Even if he just siphon souls, it doesn't matter.
And see, he
he's
taps, so
gonna
he
have
probably
Reno.
has Reno. Yeah.
Reno.
Oh, he's hovering a
He's
couple
just
cards.
desperate.
Nope,
Oh,
there
no,
it
there
is.
you go.
No, that's which
Yeah,
is
there it is.
ultimately that's not too bad because one, he's not gonna get Leroy unless he
No,
decides
because
to
he
do
has
something
to run
crazy.
into Leroy.
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily. He's
No,
at 30
he
left
doesn't
now. He
have
could
to,
take it.
yeah.
There you go.
He's smart. He'll hit the flame tongue. I'd hit the flame tongue. Yeah. Cool. Cool.
looking
Good draw. So we want to play to the Jade Lightning Lava Burst play. So that's 14. So how do we count to 16 outside of that? You could definitely draw and then barrel after we see what we draw.
Yeah. Oh,
That's a good one.
it's very good.
Is it better than Feral right now? And I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either.
I
'Cause
agree with
now
you.
you got to worry about his combo.
I mean, we Feral, we won't be able to
Right.
Lava Burst, Lightning, Jade Lightning next turn, but that's
Well,
still
we can't
fine.
do 16
We're not-
points of
we're
damage
far
this
from
turn
that.
anyway.
You're
So
right.
we're
Yeah,
not
we're
looking
far
at
from
that.
that.
And we don't have to worry about the combo until Emperor Thorison comes down.
Right.
So
And
realistically,
the
it's
combo,
just-
for anybody not familiar with it, being the Leroy, the Power Whelming, and the Faceless Manipulator,
Yes.
Yeah.
all hitting for, I think that is for 20 totem on his side. That allows him to hit 24. But we can easily clear that next turn with a Maelstrom Portal. Like, going Maelstrom Portal on Aya and killing his Flame Tongue is really good next turn.
Yeah.
There's Rag.
Ooh.
There's Rag. Face. I want face.
Yeah, face.
Good.
Yeah.
this lack
So-
of weapons is annoying me.
Yeah, we've
No
not seen a
kidding.
weapon in 2 games. have we?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think you want to play as mages as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So Aya is really good. Even doing the South Sea and the Maelstrom portal is really good. Leroy, I think I don't know. I think you need to. I would stick to the plan if it were me.
Which would be Aya Maelstrom kill the 0/3.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 to face.
I like that.
We're so behind the 8 ball here, and it's one of our best plays here. It gives us so many guys on board. It takes his damage down. We get another 1/1. But I like where we're at. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 18. So
Get there.
we're off. We're close.
Yep.
We're close, yeah. We draw a weapon next turn, it'll bump us up by a turn, I think. Ooh.
That's annoying.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
That's gross.
Might have to use our burn. Morose.
Dude, your golden lava burst is so cool. That's so awesome. I don't have that.
Oh, Farseer.
Gross.
Yeah, that is gross.
Yeah.
And hit our
Gross.
our heavy hitter.
Did he?
I don't.
He's running
think-
Morose?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's running.
It doesn't say anything
Morose.
underneath it.
No,
Wow.
he's running it. That's crazy.
Well, I'm not sure how we scoot through 13 damage here, boys.
I don't think we do. I think he's locked us out.
I think you lava burst yourself, Jade Lightning yourself.
Nah, I don't play that way.
Not going down without a fight. I mean, we have to pretty much expend our win condition.
Claws and hit Rag.
Yeah, Jade Claws into Rag. Super.
Yep.
Now play the South Sea. Yep.
Yeah.
And then at
Problem
this
is
point,
we're out of resources.
yeah,
You're just gonna go face.
I'm just gonna go face. We've invested so much into this game. I'm just gonna make him beat me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
you're fine.
Matt at
overload.
Arms in chat says taunts are cheats and heals are cheats.
That's right.
Always go face.
Trade? Nope.
Then we just cross our fingers that he doesn't kill me this turn and I get that other Maelstrom portal. Or was that my second?
That was your first.
I think that was just
Yeah,
the
your
first
first.
one this game.
Aww.
First, he's got the ooze.
And Mukla.
Mukla.
What?
What is he playing?
Rank
Reno.
13
Reno.
meta.
Did he just do like the
Rank
core?
13 meta. Reno.
Maybe he doesn't have the
Yeah.
Leroy combo. Maybe that's why he's running all this
Yeah,
Maybe
could
not.
be.
trash legendaries.
I wasn't gonna say it. Someone in chat's gonna be like, "That's my favorite one. Why are you
That's gonna-
talking like that about it?"
If somebody's gonna say it that shouldn't say it, it's me.
That's my new shirt idea is hashtag trash legendary.
Trash legendary. Hey, just
What about Ratchet something?
make sure I get a shirt. If you're gonna do that, make sure I
Yeah,
get a
that's
shirt.
game. That's game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's game.
All right. Well, let's
Hashtag trash legendary.
check out the Pirate Warrior now.
Yep.
All right.
Spivey, I'm not sure I still have you on my friends list for some reason.
I don't blame you.
I should. I don't ever remove anybody.
I do.
There you go.
I mean, I don't think we were friends before, but what winds up happening because if you're not active, there's a lot of friends I need to re-add because for Team Hearth League with the 200
Gotcha.
friends cap, I have to consistently
Yeah.
go through and remove people who haven't been online in a while. So it wouldn't have been one of you guys. I think it was just that happenstance. We just missed friend requests or something.
Well, if
Do you
it's any
want to send me
consolation,
one?
you've never unfriended me, so
Yeah. I only unfriend on longest time away from Battle.net. I don't even unfriend based on game. I'm just like, okay, who has been online a month? Or who's been offline a month, and I'll delete them. So I can add you, or you can add me.
All right, I just put mine in Skype chat.
Okay, I don't mind
I put
saying
his
mine
too,
out loud.
so-
You can. It's SPYVR number 1941.
I think you and I have been friends for a
4-1.
while. Yeah.
For a while. Yeah, for a while.
I finally took Spivey's advice and I started doing these friend notes. So
That's
now
what
I'm
I
adding
do. Yeah.
Hero Power
I-
podcast to all you guys.
If you don't have a friend node on yours, you probably won't last very long because I hit the 200 cap often.
Okay, so I've got. Oh, there it is, Versika. Okay. I was just gonna say that's the one I'm missing. Cool.
Cool. All right.
I think they need
Cool.
100,
All right.
100 per franchise out there.
Oh, it's per all games? It's 200?
It should be.
Yeah,
it's
200 across
for
all games.
Oh, shit. No wonder.
200 across all regions. So I have EU
Yes.
players taking up those spots too.
Ugh,
Yeah.
The worst, those EU players. Wow, I'm glad Hearthstone's like the one game I play.
Yeah,
With
I
Blizzard.
mean, I think they should have 100 for each game.
That makes sense.
All right.
Wow.
Yo,
so-
Watch
I would
all
love,
that.
So much
I would
Warlock.
love 100 per game.
It's,
All right, so more Warlock again. It's going to be Reno probably because I think a lot of people are practicing Reno here.
Yeah.
I don't like Heroic Strike, just keeping it in my opening hand.
What are you
We can
looking
always draw
for?
that
What's your
up
perfect mulligan?
The number one.
with coin?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see. I love having the Zots here. I like having the upgrade here. I'd like to see 2-mana 2/3 that gets buffed by my weapon, and I'd like to see a small time Buccaneer.
Okay.
Do you ever keep a half decent
I'd even be happy
hand?
with the 3/4.
Do you ever
No,
keep a half
try not.
decent hand just so you don't get patches?
No, I never do that.
Okay.
I always mulligan as effectively
Always
as
my
possible.
fear is getting.
oh,
is
freaking
getting
beautiful,
patches.
man.
That
That's
is
a
right.
gorgeous,
Yeah.
gorgeous hand.
Yeah.
That's what 4 damage on
Top
turn one.
decking South Sea deck hand
Well-
is really nice.
So part of me wants to keep the coin for next turn for that cultist.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. I mean, I don't think they'll clear both pirates.
If we went, so like one coin is like, am I ruining my turn 2? So if I'm playing this, I'm coining out another 1-drop, probably the deckhand, Next turn, my only option is upgrade by itself or heroic strike, and I don't really like that.
I think if it were me, I would do it in N'Zoth and then coin and upgrade. Because then you can still charge the South Sea turn too.
Yes, for
Yeah,
sure.
but I like just doing an Azoth and nothing. If he doesn't kill both minions, we have Blood Cell next turn.
That's true as well.
I agree with.
That's
And
why I
against
was
the
If he
Demon
does
Wrath
kill
here.
both, then we still have the upgrade into South Sea. But
You
you
notice-
won't be able to do both.
You notice people will kill patches first just out of principle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. So were we foregoing the Blood Cell Cultist turn?
Yes, because I wanted to get rid of the Mistress of Mixtures ASAP.
Gotcha. And that makes sense.
And that
So
was
we'll
that was
save coin.
Clean, yeah, that was a clean clear with the upgrade.
Yeah, I like
Yep.
that a lot.
And we get to just curve into this as well. Next turn we get to. I mean, this is just going to keep rolling.
We have a fiery war axe with an
This is
extra
ridiculous.
Matt at Arms in chat says, by the way, he really enjoyed using Mukla Tyrant in Tempo Mage for a while. # trash legendary.
charge.
We started a new one.
There we go.
Do I don't just win, right? For a 12, 17, 18. I'm one off. Am I one off?
One off lethal or
Yeah, you're one
8,
off because you got
12.
9 in hand.
15, 16, 17, 18. I am one off.
One off.
Well, that means you do it then.
Well,
he
but
still
your
can't
weapon
Reno.
I guess he hasn't acidic yet, so I was worried about that with my upgrade.
But how's he going to
If
upgrade
we have the
and kill your
win
board?
here, I'm just gonna play this.
Yeah, just play that
I'm just gonna play
board. Because we can beat him before he gets Reno
Yeah.
out.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You do 9 damage this turn, and then you kill him next turn.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless he defenders.
Unless he defends.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
But
but if
he's
he does
only
that,
gonna
he
defend
can't-
her
he can't-
One
Six
minion.
swamp
He'll still be
is-
fine.
Right. Yeah. We're gonna do that because he can't defend her and all
And
that.
yeah, and
Same.
ooze. You're right.
right.
You're right.
Right. That's exactly why we did that. Is because it's at 5. If he could have done both, we weren't gonna play that upgrade.
And see, we can clear a defender Twilight Drake, no problem,
Easily.
and then still get lethal.
He's in bad
Easily.
way.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, this deck's real good.
I mean, best thing he could do is get the 1/3 taunt.
Billy.
Nice.
Billy.
Gotta
it's
love
Billy.
Billy.
Oh,
Wow.
BMing.
Oh, the BM is strong with this deck.
Yep.
that's not BM. I was just
You're going to get a
wishing
friend
my
request for that one,
opponent
friend.
had-
You're going to get a friend request.
Hashtag 1600 salt. Live
right.
on Hero Power.
Wrecked.
All right, one more and we'll be good.
Mad at Arms, brutal, savage, wrecked. I think it's Tyrannosaurus wrecked.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Oh.
Oh man.
we have a great chat. They're very active. They love watching our games.
Oh yeah, Mad at Arms. I actually talk to all the time on Twitter now, thanks to you guys. Like, he's great.
He's extremely vocal, especially in our patron Discord. He's always in there.
Get out of here,
So I will-
Patches.
I like
Ooh.
seeing Patches in my hand because I know I'm not going to get him back on a mulligan.
That's not true.
I haven't ever gotten him back.
Frothing's good.
Not with him, but I've had it happen with
Frothing
other
was
cards.
real good.
Well, non-legendary.
Finley's
yeah.
underwhelming.
Yeah.
We're gonna hope for someone. Nah, we're not keeping Frothing.
Stop saying frothing.
Ducharme asks, what does Mad-at-Arms...
moist?
There we go.
Ducharme asks, what does Mad-at-Arms not do? I don't think he sleeps.
Yeah, he's always on Hearthstone.
Dragon Priest.
Ooh.
So we'll do this, but if he's smart, he will definitely hit. Oh, I've got 2 pirates. Oh baby, I forgot to get 2 pirates. What
Yeah.
up, Patches? Dr. Zero.
We can coin into Blood Cell Cultist.
Yeah, we're definitely. The only reason I wasn't considering that option is because I forgot I got 2 pirates. But yeah,
Yeah.
Bloodtail Cultist. This is why Patches is good. Why should I craft a 1/1 legendary? This is why. This is why.
And since he didn't heal the minion, which I'm confused about,
Yep. Whoops. Whoops.
yeah, just take it out.
The club can't even handle us.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake. That's fine.
And now he's
we have
dry
another one.
loading.
Mhm.
And we're back to another Fiery
Yeah.
Warak with an extra charge. This is rolling.
Oh, nice.
Oh baby.
That's
That's a
very
big ol'
nice.
hook.
That's exactly where we want to be.
And
Oh,
if he's
yeah.
we actually don't know if he's Reno or not. Like typically Twilight Drake. There it is.
Nope,
Okay.
not Reno.
I was gonna say we
Double
might not see
Pain.
the second Shadow Word Pain. Right. Because I mean Twilight Whelp would be a reach for
Well, I've seen
Reno
one of
deck, just because
I've seen one of an
low
Reno
impact, but
Dragon
It's not
variant.
out of the question. Okay.
Reno Dragon can run whelps, usually just one, and most of the time they hang on to them for an activator.
The Druid hero power is so nice with this
Oh,
deck
it's
too.
so good.
We're anticipating the Holy Nova here, or the Excavated Evil.
Yeah, Holy
the one
Nova
around
would
Small Time
leave
Buccaneer?
a minion on the board.
Yeah, Excavated Evil would be the answer. But no, he's going to Blackwing
Just a
Corruptor.
Corruptor.
He's hurting.
Oh, and there's another
And the
upgrade.
upgrade.
Matt at Arms just pointed out. Matt at Arms has been talking about on the show, which is Patches is like Blood Mage. Feels bad crafting him. I am not a fan of crafting Patches or Blood Mage. They're two of the best legendaries in the game, but I'm not a fan because they do not feel good to craft. They're not splashy. They don't seem to do much. Whatever else, they just kind of are.
I have crafted both Blood Mage and Patches.
I crafted Blood Mage because he was one of the only legendaries out of
First.
Classic
Yeah.
besides Harrison that I didn't own, and
Yeah.
I got lucky and pulled a Golden Patches.
That's real
Yeah.
good.
Hashtag dust your goldens.
I crafted a golden Dr. Boone and a golden dog.
Attaboy.
Nice.
Wow. We are rolling.
Yeah.
So upgrade Leroy. That's 11
We're just-
there. If we wanted,
Yeah,
to
we're just gonna
Leroy.
keep pushing this for now.
Yeah.
We'll force them
Small time?
to clear that. Yeah.
Because a small time
Right.
would kill. We'd have to
Yep.
heal the corruptor.
Yep. And we didn't play upgrade last turn, and we missed out on 1 damage because I didn't hero power first. I thought I was gonna hero power after for some stupid reason. I think I forgot it was good. But
Well, don't
I
forget
played
to
the upgrade
use your
later
hero
because I wanted the value. In case no, never forget.
Ducharmo
Hashtag
says Ducharmo says Spivey really gets into it sometimes and gets to talking so fast he has to look at his podcast app and make sure it's not 2 times speed.
Wait, is that real life? Do I really do that?
Yes.
Only a
Oh,
little.
you're doing it now.
Oh dang.
6, 10, 11. You
Is that
win.
lethal?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hero
with hero power and Leroy.
yeah.
It's lethal.
Hero power and
That'll
Leroy.
do her. Man, this is a fast deck.
Oh
See,
baby.
I ran the Hobart list, but instead of Hobart, I put in Captain Greenskin because I liked it better. But this is faster. I think I like this list. It's very close to mine, but I think this one's quicker.
So that makes me 2-0 twice in a row on your show.
That's right. 2-0 twice.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, do you stop playing now because you're on a roll?
right. Yeah.
I'll play another. I don't know.
No, we've.
I mean, I definitely need to eat some dinner at some point.
Yeah, we need to wrap it up.
Either work.
It's been an awesome night though. We've loved having you guys on.
This has been fun. Let's do it again.
Rasika's turning orange over here.
Hey,
He's got 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
So, well, I want to thank you guys for coming on the show. I hate that Matt couldn't make it, but 2 really fun decks, and it went well. I mean, it went as good as we could have hoped. We were 3-1 out of 4 games. I mean, that's not bad.
Nope.
Good.
Yeah. So
well, I mean, there's there's a week left to climb ladder.
Yes.
These are 2 solid decks to be able to climb ladder with right now.
Yep, absolutely. So we
Don't
usually
let anybody tell you different about these kind of decks. Like, just because someone plays aggro doesn't make them, less of an advanced player. Pirate aggro and aggro shaman, or aggro warrior, they both take. There's some nuance there. We're counting ahead on damage early on, and we're trying to figure out how to close the game at a turn or two in advance. So
Yep.
takes practice.
There you go. So, all right. Well, we like to do last thoughts on the show right before we end. Zoroshio, what do you have for us this week?
I just want to thank the 1600 Dust crew. This has been a long time. We've been planning on this. We've had Spivey on before. We're all big fans of 1600 Dust. And for our listeners that haven't checked them out, please go check them out. They're an awesome listen. I like them a lot.
All right. Versika?
Just more of the same. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate having you guys out. We'd love to do it again. Especially need to make sure that we get Matt on the show. And congrats, you guys are coming up on 100 episodes. That's always a good milestone. What is the statistic now? Most podcasts don't make it past episode 25. So you guys are 4 times that.
We're hitting that mark right with our show length. So
Yeah, I was gonna say we're right at where we should stop if you looked in 20 minutes.
But no, just keep up the good work, and we'll keep listening. And I look forward to each and every show.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on ours.
Yeah. All right. You guys have any shout outs you want to do before we close it out?
Spivey, you want to
I'll
go first?
let Chris close it out on our end. Yeah, of course I do. But I just want to, I want to thank you guys for having us on again. And, you guys are friends of the show for sure. And we are always looking to collaborate. And I just want to remind anybody who has not checked out 1600 Dust that we'll be doing episode 100 in a week and a half. It'll be New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, somewhere around there. We typically post on Sundays, so it should be the 1st. And I will tease that the episode should cover a 40-minute commute this time. I don't know.
Oh,
Potentially.
nice.
That'll be nice. For me. It'll be nice for me.
You'll get to answer that question, how much is too much?
Yeah. All right, Chris, you got anything you want to add?
Honestly, just thank you so much for having us on. This is great. Love the community that's come up around Hearthstone. Love being a part of it. We gave everyone out our Twitter and website and all that good stuff. Just don't ever feel like you can't come talk to us or say hey or ask a question. Like I've said before, we're just guys like all of you, and it's important to us that as much as we kind of have some platform to talk about it, that other people can listen, that everyone knows that we're just as much a part of the community as everyone else, and we like talking with all of you, so don't hesitate to do so.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks again. And guys, if you have any questions or comments about the show, please email us at heropowerpodcast@gmail.com. Do us a favor if you haven't done so already. Be awesome like all these new people we picked up, and hit that subscribe button below on YouTube, or give us a follow on Twitch to be alerted when we go live. And for more details on our Patreon, you can check it out at patreon.com/heropower. And as always, good gaming.
Bye, guys.